What's up? Welcome back to my channel, Eccentric RockStar'Seed. I don't know why I say my name like that. It's just funny to say it like that. You know, it's a lot of fun to say it like that. Okay, Divine Feminine. I have a channel message for you. You're divine masculine. You're divine masculine. He want to talk to you. You made his nerves bad with something you did. I know that sounds absurd, like, well, too bad, right? Well, he has something to say to you. So, just listen. I use my crystals to identify each party, where each party is at. Keep in mind, this is advice. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. However, I'm still going to say the message. Okay? Divine Feminine. This is you. The Angel Phantom Quartz. It's about faith, healing, renewing. You know, acting as a direct connection to the spiritual realm. You know, this crystal provides a profound relationship with you and your spiritual team, as it aids in overcoming trauma, addressing inner child wounds, healing repressed memories, and alleviating negative emotions that have been haunting you from the past. So with this awareness, it allows you to release yourself from trapped memories, to gain your own personal freedom and empower yourself and write your own story. Despite whatever has happened to you in the past, you owe that to yourself. Now this divine feminine, I said divine feminine, but I think this is an emperor operating out of his feminine energy at this point, because now he's in that energy of receiving. Whereas the divine feminine is operating out of her masculine energy now, because she's taking accountability for her feelings, and now she's in this like refreshed energy where it's like so much joy and success and abundance. Like, and this divine masculine sees that, and he's nervous, like bubble guts nervous, honestly. So this is the Ethiopian opal, and this is about rebirth, portal, and desire, and it's reflecting parts of your soul with bright flashes of color and revitalizing energy. It's so full of joy. It's a high vibration stone. It's able to soothe the soul and bring harmony to mind, body, and spirit, and can burn unhealed karma from the past and clear the path for a rebirth, like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. What I'd say. And it's containing a soul holograph, and it gives access to different timelines in your life from the past, present, and future. So give all parts of yourself the love that you desire. So this particular divine feminine, your Mercury is in Sagittarius. Your Mercury is in Sagittarius. And this divine masculine, your moon is in Capricorn. Check your birth chart. The end goal is the emerald, which is representing spring, unity, and vitality. I'm gonna read it now, but that's the end goal. That's how the cards are set up. I was called to put them in a way where it looked like steps, and I hear the song "Stairway to Heaven" as I did that. So these are the necessary steps that is going to need to be taken for these two to reunite, because you can't go back the way you once was. Nobody's one and the same after a spiritual transformation anyway. So it's the divine feminine who hit a spiritual transformation, which triggered the divine masculine to enter the death and rebirth, the dark night of the soul, so to speak, where it's like a slow, gradual death of his ego. But when I say the energies are switched around, like the masculine is in his feminine energy, because now he's in that creative energy and he's ready to receive. He's ready to learn what he wasn't in the mood to learn when they were once together, the masculine and the feminine. Okay, now I hear "At Your Best" by Aaliyah. You may not be in the mood to learn what you think you know. You already know. Period. So this crystal is going to represent This crystal represents the stone of successful love. It stimulates loyalty, partnership, and friendship, and it opens the heart chakra, healing the auric field with unconditional love, hope, joy, with exuberance, and a lust for life. And this crystal is also a sign for new beginnings and a fresh step in life, radiating health, prosperity, and vitality. Grow in the direction of your dreams and nurture yourself along the way. You deserve the riches that life has to offer you. So at this point, at this pivotal point, the divine feminine is receiving her abundance because she did more shadow work. So she's naturally would be further ahead than the divine masculine. And the divine masculine now realized that he has to catch up because he's very much in love with her. And he realized now he has to do that. He realized the importance of what she was trying to encourage him to do in order for them to complete the mission, as you will. So I have a metaphor. The divine masculine initially, what ended up happening was with these two was the divine masculine called for a lift. This is all metaphoric. He sent for a lift. And when, you know how the Lyft driver receives the notification that they have a pickup. So they go, she gets the notification, she gets the download. She goes and arrives at the destination to pick up the person who needs the ride, right? For the ride. But at the last minute, and when she arrived, at the last minute, the divine masculine decided, I changed my mind. I'm not going to accept the ride. I'm not ready to leave just yet. So what that basically means is he sent the prayer, he manifested this counterpart, this divine counterpart for himself. But when she arrived, he wasn't ready to receive. He wasn't ready to accept. He wasn't willing to go on that ride, on that journey, that spiritual journey with her just yet. He realized at the last minute he still had some karmic debt or just some experiences in general that he wasn't finished experiencing. He wasn't finished he wasn't finished operating in his south node, if you will. Because the whole purpose of these unions is to get you to your higher purpose, and that faces your north node. He wasn't quite done yet. And it would be codependent if the divine feminine would have stayed to wait for him. And hence the metaphor with the lift. You have 5 minutes before the ride takes off to go pick up the next ride or do the next part of the mission without him. Now, I don't feel like it's completely over. It might feel like it with these two, especially for the divine feminine. I feel like she might have thought this is over. It's not meant to happen, or it's closing out a karmic cycle in this life. But the divine masculine now is like it's a plot twist. He realizes he's not ready for this to be over now that she left. Okay, the first card is from my yogic deck. You know, the divine feminine, she operates from an evolved mind. Okay, she knows exactly who she is. But doing her shadow work, her solar plexus are all clear. So she's in a space where she's networking. I see the scene from Titanic where Rose is showing Jack off to all the royal people and introducing him to all these big name people. When he was invited to dinner, she's at that space where she does speeches in front of people. So she's on a platform. She practices mass communications, and she's like a life coach or a mentor or somebody who comes with a lot. She practices her healing abilities and her supernatural abilities in front of a live audience. So she's making all these kick-ass moves, and it triggered the divine masculine. And the songs that I channeled from that energy is Rihanna, Kiss It Better, The Weeknd, Earned It, Sade, No Ordinary Love, and the SOS Band, Tell Me If You Still Care. Like he's nervous. Now he's sweating like he feel like he lost her forever. Okay. Because now the Divine Feminine is like, I welcome all healthy, loving relationships. I'm only interested in what brings me joy. See? And then she has her solar plexus, have been all clear. Like she's clearing out karmic debt. And this one is the cake. When I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally, support will surround me, and movements will form. She's moving she's moving mountains. She's leading the people. You see all these flowers? Like the people are following her. See how they're going up? Like the stairway to heaven? See that? That's hot. And that ultimate end goal would be this for both of them. But not so fast. The divine masculine has to do some stuff about his ego. He has to do something about that ego and that ungrateful attitude or that diva attitude he once was showing the divine feminine, like making her, trying to catfish her like she was the one that's not good enough or just wasn't on his level. But in actuality, this experience humbled him. He realized he's really in love with her. Okay. So by her being in a more evolved space, she had a spiritual transformation. She's operating more out of evolved mind, which caused him to feel triggered. Because they mirror each other. So the more, like, it's like, with the twin flame journey, if one is moving to that north node, it's going to tug the other one to have to come to at some point. And by her networking and socializing, she's having the time of her life. You see what I'm saying? This is all bubbly, champagne, poppy, partying, networking. She doesn't have a care in the world. She welcomes her healthy relationship. She's having fun. She's celebrating. She's not taking everything so serious. Like, she legit walked away from this person with the belief that it's not meant to be. Because when she showed up, he wasn't in the mood to learn what she was trying to teach him or support him. She was there to help him heal, but he wasn't ready to receive it. So now that solar plexus chakra is all clear, now she's inspired. She just dances with life. It's about vitality. She did a lot to shift her energy, to heal those chakras, to shift her energy. I'm very proud of you, Divine Feminine. Keep up the great work, because one way or another, you're going to inspire him to come with you. And I feel like you already have. And lastly, these are clarifiers. The Great Gathering. She's a part of her soul tribe. Remember the scene from Titanic? All the wealthy people, all the successful people? Well, these are like spirited people for her who have well-rounded abundance as well. And it's all coming together. Intuitive hits. Now she's with her soul tribe. Okay? This is where it gets deep. Now the masculine, he's trying to catch up. He's remembering all the things that she was teaching him once upon a time. And he has a question that's burning him. He said, you never answered me when I asked you, what do? You never ever answered that question. So at this point, he's like, I miss you. I miss everything. I miss your loyalty, your devotion, your passion, your affection, that inner peace. I didn't have that. I wasn't as grounded as much as I thought I was. I wanted to keep everything surface level. But what the DM did, he didn't realize until now was he didn't understand why the DF, he was like disrespecting her boundaries. But the reality was she never utilized safe or strong boundaries when it came to him. Why? Because it wasn't really her love language or her trauma to feel like she had to set up boundaries. She doesn't believe in that. Love is patient, love is kind, love has no boundaries. And he didn't get that until she started moving forward, until she did officially move forward. She didn't have all those traumas. Like what was mirroring, he triggered her in a way where you reminded me of a old neighborhood or a house I used to live in. The house that housed a lot of emotional and mental trauma. That was me back then. I struggled through those things. Not anymore. I'm more evolved. And it triggered the divine masculine in a way where it propelled her forward, and it pushed him to have to face her success has inspired him to face his inner demons, if you will. But he realized the importance. Like, when I listened to the lyrics of Rihanna, Kiss It Better, she didn't want to fight and argue all night. She just kissed it better. And he realized that about the divine feminine. That's what she did. All she wanted to do was please you and bring you peace and be your tranquil. And now he doesn't have that anymore. Now he feels abandoned, unloved, unworthy. It has triggered those emotional traumas in him. But it had to happen like that. He had to do that to her to inspire her to keep going, because he wasn't ready. And now he's facing all those issues, and he doesn't want to do it without her. She said, Divine Feminine said, I didn't need boundaries as it comes to you, and I never will. That's deep. There's no blurred lines about who she is as a person. She's well aware of who she is as a person. She's secure and serene with who she is. She understands the mission. The only thing that was missing was love, and that's where they mirror each other, like in their own way. They're at different levels of it, but that's the one thing they want in life is love from each other. They want to be loved by their counterpart. So I feel like now he's ready. This divine masculine. So the aftermath, I have some more songs. The aftermath of this experience for them is about purity and clarity. And the songs are Told Y'all by Chief Keef. Listen to those lyrics. And the reconciliation would be Sadiddy by Chief Keef and C. Honcho. Those songs represent massive success. So he has to work his way up. And it's more than just financial freedom. It's spiritual freedom, inner peace established, tranquil, healed issues, no more abandonment, no more triggers of abandonment. So I feel like he's now inspired to move forward. He's climbing those stairs to catch up with her because he realized who she is and what she was doing there and why she's so important, why he can't stop thinking about her. Why does he dream about her? Why does he cry about her? So her advice to him was, and they speak telepathically. They don't speak in person no more. Now she's getting all those messages that he's sending her mentally. It's like, how are you able to do that? When y'all don't speak, how do you know? Like, how are you able to communicate with her? He still has some lingering karmic friends. I feel like men and women, he has male and female friends, but they're all distorted feminines. I feel like that because they were the ones who, now that I realize, I did a reading where I started off where it's like, yo, you ain't catching no crackhead. They were distorting his perception of his divine feminine because they felt threatened by her, because they saw her energy was not like what they were used to, was not like what he was used to, but he gravitated to it. Because when you don't have the spiritual garden, a watered spiritual garden, we don't pay attention to that kind of stuff because you're too tangible or practical. You don't have balance. Obviously, she came in to water your spiritual garden. Naturally, if you're dehydrated, you're going to take to it like a gefilte fish to water. And they saw that and they instantly got insecure. So they projected that onto him and made him feel insecure and inspired him to start acting insecure towards her. They created a lot of tumultuous energy between these two. And that's another reason, another part of her propelling her to move forward. I know I'm stuttering a little bit, but it's like the energy is like the heart is racing. If you drink too many cups of coffee, how your heart starts racing, it's like you're jittery. That's his energy. Like he's very nervous. He has anxiety. He doesn't sleep well at night, and he cries a lot. You know, and this is about purity and clarity. It's going to get us. He's like now he's asking the right questions. What do I have to do? Because I don't want you to leave. I want you to come back. I love you. It's like you have to let go of the things that were holding you back, you know, and are reaching deeper levels of clarity. You have to clean up there's like things that he's going to have to do one regimen at a time. Diet, home, self-care products, relationships, thought patterns, career goals, just his whole outlook on life. He has to revamp everything about himself. Not like she's giving him a list of chores. It's just you have to build a healthier self-esteem so you don't be like those distorted feminines. Because you're more like them than you are like your counterpart until you change. You know, you evolve. You want to grow. Like you have to create a space that allows you to experience joy that comes with purity and clarity. And so you're able to receive greater gifts that are more aligned with who you are, what your truth is. So by continuing towards a path that is inspired by clarity and purity, you have to shed what no longer serves you. So you're detoxing your body inside out. This is more than talking about detox tea. Everything has to go. That's exactly what the divine feminine did to get to where she is. So there's no reason for people to be jealous of her or feel intimidated by her because they don't even know what she's been through, all that she had to endure and what she had to sacrifice to get to where she is. And the more you do that, divine masculine, you know, your thoughts and your life will start to reflect that clarity and that purity. Because when you met divine feminine, she was at a very pure space. Like, you don't even know all that she has worked through to get to that point. Even though you took it for granted, it's okay. It's forgiveness. I feel like the DF pardons you. She just want to see you do better. She want to see you feel better and be better. You don't want you walking around in clouded energy and eating bad foods and being shallow and surface level, holding on to old emotions and old situations and just well-rounded toxic people, toxic anything. She wants to see you be better. And that's what it's going to take to spiritually evolve, for their energies to be aligned again. So the best thing you can do is just really take it one day at a time, one emotion at a time, one habit at a time, and watch how your life change. Because this divine feminine, she's a leader of courage. Like, she earned that stripe. She's non-conformant. She's a super intellect. She's a sapiosexual. That's what I think she is. Like, I think she gets off more intellectually than anything else. And that's not to say that the divine masculine isn't a lot like her. He just wasn't in the mood at first. But it's good to see him coming around. It's like refreshing energy. He's starting to realize her energy is like, I can't live without that. Who in their common sense state of mind will want to be without that? And so the saga continues. We'll see what happens next. Okay, that was my channel message. Until next time.